Over the weekend, we saw the judgment in the businesswoman and the investigative journalist case, where the court actually said that if you have all of these things, you're looking for, if you have the information, go and give it to institutions of state. Don't go and publish. Now, you know, the Media Foundation of West Africa has criticized that judgment because, look, some of the things we're talking about today were products of investigative journalists. We're talking about the National Service Scheme. We're talking about SML. We're talking about, contracts for sale. We're talking about school placement, fraud and all of that. These were investigative journalist reports that changed things within this country. In fact, the whole decision to have a youth employment agency was as a result of investigations into JIDA. So as a journalist, what do you make of this ruling, and how does it affect the practice of a profession which is key in a democratic dispensation?
I think some of our judges are too adventurous. And I don't know what went into the thinking of the judge, but I totally disagree. I've not read the full ruling. That's why I'm saying I don't know what went into the thinking. Maybe if I read the ruling, I may come to appreciate what went into his thinking, even if I disagree with it. I don't think that even if I understand what went into his thinking, I will still agree with the ruling. I will not. I think that it is a no-no. I mean, journalists have their profession, and their duty is to publish information that they think can inform, educate, and reform society. So if they come across information that has corruption related issues, their duty stops at the point of publication. They don't have the duty. They may have a responsibility, but they don't have the duty of handing it over to any investigative body. That is the duty of the investigative bodies. The duty of the investigative body is to investigate and uncover rot. If they fail in that duty, and a journalist, does that, as part of his duty as a journalist, his duty ends at publication. If he chooses to be responsible to share it with the investigative body, it is just an act of patriotism. It's an act of citizen responsibility, but it is not required of the journalist to necessarily hand over investigative information to an investigative body. I think that it was a needless point for the judge to make. Let's leave journalists to be journalists. Let's leave our investigative bodies to be investigative bodies. Let's encourage them to do more of the work that they are paid to do.